I'm the daughter of Michael Wilson, who was a blacklisted screenwriter, and I'm also one of the organizers of the protests that we're having on Sunday. The sign that I'll be carrying is going to say, "My dad did not receive his Oscar until after his death." I'll be carrying that sign not only for my father, but for the thousands of people in this country who were affected by blacklisting.
Communism is evil. Yes, sir. Communism is evil. Communism is evil. What if they were Nazis? What if they were Nazis?
But they weren't Nazis.
Communism state. Communism is evil.
It's good to have the nice
I think you can understand why I have a little bit of trepidation about speaking to you today, but 41 years ago, a film called Bridge on the River Kwai swept the Academy Awards. It received 6 Oscars. One of those Oscars was for Best Screenplay. And backstage, after the awards, director David Lean, who directed that film and who had just received an Oscar, was cornered by a reporter backstage who said, "Who wrote the screenplay to Bridge on the River Kwai? Who wrote the screenplay to Bridge on the River Kwai?" And David Lean said, "That's the $64,000 question. If you had $64,000, I could tell you, but you don't, so I can't tell you." Now the reason David Lean said this was that the person who received or who was granted the Oscar for Best Screenplay that year was a Frenchman named Pierre Blou, who did not even speak English, who was the author of the book. It took 27 years for the credit on that film to be corrected. It took 27 years for the Academy to finally grant my father and Carl Foreman, both blacklisted screenwriters, the Oscar for that film. By that time, both of them were dead. And now the envelope, please. This is the Oscar that my father never got to hold. Now, it had a blindfold on it, which is in my purse here. It fell off as I was trying to get the envelope. This could have been my father's Lifetime Achievement Award, and he certainly deserved it. If the Academy had had the courage to give this award to my father while he was still alive, it would have been a Lifetime Achievement Award for him, because many of his peers felt that he was one of the finest writers of his generation. Between 1952 and 1961, 5 of the films that he wrote were nominated for Oscars, and he was able, in spite of the pressures of the blacklist, in spite of being exiled, our family lived in France with the Barsmans. In spite of this, thank you. Bernie remembers that the Oscar that my father did receive during his life at our house had a hood on it for many, many years, and my father vowed that he would never take that hood off until the blacklist was over. Despite the terrible pressures of the blacklist, my father wrote some wonderful films, including not only Bridge on the River Kwai, but Lawrence of Arabia, which he did not receive credit on until only 4 years ago, co-credit. The Oscar had this hood on it also because the Academy was blind to have a see no evil kind of policy. It had a don't ask, don't tell kind of attitude about writing credits. It was willing to look the other way. It was willing to accept the lies of producers who were willing to lead the world to believe that either no one had written a screenplay, that a screenplay didn't have a credit, or that people with false names were credited with work that they incriminate Bernie, please. In 1956, 1 week before Oscar nominations were supposed to be announced by the Academy passed a new rule that anyone who refused to talk to a congressional committee could not get an Oscar. When the nominations came out, one of the films listed for Best Screenplay was Friendly Persuasion. That film was written by my father. But instead of Mike Wilson's name, the nomination certificate read, "Writer ineligible for nomination under Academy bylaws." The Academy still to this day has not given us a full apology for its behavior, nor has it told the whole truth about its role in blacklisting and its collaboration with McCarthyism. The time has come.
Thank you very much, Becca. And next, Mark Robert.